Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Soza, and today we're going to be talking about who the greatest player of all time is, the GOAT, if you will, in the NBA. Now, I came up with this list as my parents and I were driving to a relative's house, and I was typing up this list, and I was thinking, who qualifies to be the greatest player of all time? Like, how do you decipher it? How do you break it down? Well, I came up with 4 ideas and 4 sort of ideals to see who is the greatest player of all time. So, number 1, impact on the game. Now, a guy like Stephen Curry, Derrick Rose, the modern day players, you don't see their impact yet. But a guy like Elgin Baylor, a guy like Julius Erving, a guy like Bill Russell, those guys are the pioneers, and those guys were the players that inspired the Jordans, the Shaqs, the LeBrons of today and before, to define their craft and to redefine their game. So impact on the game. Number 2, championship pedigree. So guys like Charles Barkley, guys like Karl Malone, who never won any NBA championships. That says something, that they were never able to get over the top. They were never able to beat the Bulls. And other guys, weren't able to beat the Lakers with Celtics. But then you look at Bill Russell with his 11 championships. That says something, So there's that. So impact, championship pedigree. Number 3, awards. I'm talking MVPs, Finals MVPs, even All-Star Game MVPs. From the likes of Jordan to Chamberlain to Russell to Magic, all those guys, they won multiple MVPs. Larry Bird, LeBron, all those guys won multiple MVPs. And that says something about their game, that they were able to dominate over the course of several years. So it's that. And then finally, number 4, statistics. So statistics, what does that mean? I'm talking the records. I'm talking like Wilt Chamberlain's 50-point game average that one year. I'm talking Wilt's 100-point game. Pretty much like a lot of this is Wilt. Like the 55-point game that he had, the 100-point game, the 55 rebound game, excuse me. And guys like that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as being the all-time leader in scoring. John Stockton, the all-time assister. Guys like that. Those statistics, they hold some value to it. So I put them, in a high place, but again, those first 3 categories overweigh the statistics. So, impact on the game, championship pedigree, awards, and statistics. Those 4. If you have all of those, then you will reach higher on the list. And you'll see later on what I mean by that. So without further ado, let's start the list. And we have at number 25, the Admiral, David Robinson. So he's a Hall of Famer, NBA 50 greatest team, he's an Olympic gold medalist, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star, 2-time champion. He's done it all, right? So why the hell isn't he higher? Well, sorry Spurs fans, but I don't really put him above anyone else because, first off, he never was really first team All-NBA. He never really got that many first team All-NBA, which, if you guys don't know, first team All-NBA, that's basically 5 players. If you're included in the first team All-NBA, that means that you're one of 5 players who at that time dominated their specific position. So if you're a point guard and you're selected for first team All-NBA, you're basically the best point guard of that year. So with David not winning that many, that means that he wasn't able to beat out the Ewings, the Hakeems, the Shaqs, the centers of his time. So that tells me that he didn't really get over that hump, and that's basically the case for David Robinson. The only 2 titles that he won was with Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. He was never able to win an NBA championship on his own, and the closest he got was when he won the MVP. And when he won the MVP, he got schooled by Akeem Olajuwon in the playoffs. If you don't know what I mean, then here's the video.
Congratulations, David Robinson, 1995 NBA MVP.
Especially for Hakeem Olajuwon.
I think deep down inside, with his personal pride, it gave him some extra fire.
Hakeem, who has the heart of a champion, you know he'll respond tonight. He will respond.
Shouldn't have ever given that award out before the series started.
It was a point Hakeem would drive home to David Robinson.
Oh, man.
He didn't know how to guard a King.
If David Robinson is not quick enough to stop you, nobody is.
Dream gave him too many fakes, and I think that's just really frustrating.
I tell you, Olajuwon has David Robinson just bamboozled.
You kind of felt like he could do what he wanted when he wanted.
Robinson is saying, what must I do?
When he made that one shot where he wasn't even looking at the basket, he just finger rolled it behind his head, and he went. I said, "Well, somebody's in trouble for them. You know, it's going to be a long night."
Dominating Robinson and the Spurs, Hakeem helped the Rockets win both games in San Antonio, stunning their favorite opponent.
And the Rockets will go home looking to sweep the team with the best record in ball when the playoffs began.
I mean, I don't even know how I can say it with a straight face, but I thought most of the time I defended him pretty well. The man just played, I mean, as well as I've seen anybody play in a long time.
But anyway, you know, with David, I never really saw him as this dominant figure. Sure, 70-point game, incredible. The quadruple-double, incredible. But again, never really got anywhere. He was stuck in San Antonio with his run-of-the-mill team. The best guy that he had besides Tim Duncan was Dennis Rodman. I mean, and he had like a washed-up Paul Pressey, a washed-up Terry Cummings. I mean, you know, never really got anywhere. So, sorry, Admiral. Alright, so now we're at number 24. And at 24, this is an interesting one. The big ticket, KG, Kevin Garnett.
The most versatile player in the game.
Is there anything he can't do?
He is the best player on the planet, period.
Kevin, you play this game with a passion, with an energy, with a devotion, with a respect, and with a loyalty to your fans. Congratulations, 2003-2004 NBA MVP, Kevin Garnett.
So, we have an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Kind of sounds like David Robinson, right? Well, stay tuned. It really sounds a lot like David Robinson. MVP, NBA champion, Defensive Player of the Year, multiple-time All-Star, All-Star Game MVP. He's the Minnesota Timberwolves all-time leading scorer. So, why isn't he higher? Well, first off, let's commend KG for being, you know, I call him the best defensive power forward of all time. So just, let's put him there, okay? So that's why he's on this list, first off. Now, when you look at that 2004 MVP, first off, he never reached farther than the conference finals during his tenure with the Timberwolves, first off. Second off, after his MVP season, guess how many times the Timberwolves went to the playoffs? Guess it? 2 times, 3 times, 0 times. So throughout all the time that Kevin Garnett was with the Timberwolves, those years of his prime after the MVP season, they reached the playoffs once. Now, okay, let's say he has a bad team. Okay, fine. So then he goes to Boston. He wins an NBA title first year. Okay, great. Does he win another NBA title? Nope. Never doesn't win an NBA title. Now, I mean, with all the talent that he has around him, Rondo, Pierce, Ray Allen, I mean, you have to think that, you know, maybe he could reach farther heights. Nope. So that's why he's this low. KG was never, like David Robinson, was never able to get over the top. He was never the greatest power forward, except for that MVP season. He was always overshadowed by guys like Tim Duncan. I mean, at one season, Dirk Nowitzki. You know, I mean, how Chris Webber, I think, dominated him at some point. But, you know, he was never able to materialize. he never got a true post game. And as a power forward who's near 7 feet tall, I mean, what the hell are you doing? You know, you're a face-up big man. You should be able to develop some type of good post game, but was always a face-up guy. Never really fit into anyone's system except when he was with Doc. And again, never. And then Minnesota Timberwolves all-time leading scorer. Who the hell goes to Minnesota? I mean, who's the second best player in that franchise? Kevin Love. And that's pretty much it, man. So that's why I put him here. You know, number 24. I think that's pretty good. You know, applause for KG for making the list, but sorry, big ticket. Alright, for number 23, you're probably wondering why I have this basketball. Well, this is the basketball I used to play at the park. But for number 23, I don't know if you could see, it's the logo, Mr. Jerry West.
Lakers trying to pressure the inbounds pass, and it comes into Walt Frazier with 10 seconds now showing on the clock. 8 seconds left to go on the clock. 7, 6, 5. DeBusschere shoots. Hit with 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. West throws it up. He makes it. West threw it up and makes it. Over half court. The ball game is tied. Jerry West made it from the other side of the midcourt stripe.
Played in the 60s, which was where a lot of NBA players played, a lot of high caliber talent. He was an NBA champion, he was a multiple-time All-Star, the only player in NBA history to win the NBA Finals MVP and not win the championship. And he was the first Finals MVP ever. So why is the logo not on the list? Why isn't he farther on the list, I should say? Well, I mean, first off, these three players, Robinson, Garnett, and West, weren't even on my list to begin with. I just want to put that out. I was originally going to keep it at 22, but then I said, nah, what the hell, let me extend it to 25 just so, you know, it sounds better, you know, 25 versus 22. But other than that, versus the other players that I have farther up this list, Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson, some of the high caliber guards, Michael Jordan, you know, against those guys, Jerry West pretty much loses. He played as a shooting guard most of his career, except for that one time that he was kind of a point guard next to Gil Goodrich, but Gil Goodrich was also a point guard. You know, it's so we list him as a shooting guard, and 6'3", and as skinny as Jerry West was, and as okay at defense as he played, I don't think he could stack up against like Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant and those guys. Now, impact on the game, incredible impact on the game. Inspired, you know, generations of players to play in the NBA, and was one of the greater superstars, one of the best Lakers of all time. But again, versus other guys, and if you look at his records, he doesn't really have a lot of records. He doesn't have any records. I mean, against like Wilt and Kareem, he doesn't have a record. All of the records that he has have been broken or surpassed by. And as far as awards go, never really won any MVPs, you know. So I put him at this spot because, again, never really succeeded. When he reached the finals all those times, he lost. He lost to Russell Celtics, he lost to the Knicks. The only time that he won an NBA title was with, who do you win with? Oh yeah, Gil Goodrich and freaking Wilt Chamberlain. When Wilt Chamberlain actually played like a real basketball player instead of a guy who was just going after stats. So, sorry logo, you know. But yeah, we stuck at 23. You know what, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to keep this basketball around. I think, you know, Joe's is a good prop. But number 22 now, Isaiah Zeke Thomas.
it turns, guns, it goes!
All the way up, goal! Thomas again for three. He's amazing.
I will be a Piston for my entire career. I'm also able to announce that I will be a Piston for the rest of my life.
Isaiah Thomas. So, Hall of Famer, 50 greatest team, two-time NBA champion with the Pistons, Finals MVP, assist leader, multiple-time All-Star, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So first off, why is he on this high on the list? Okay, so he's basically the best Piston of all time, next to like Chauncey Billups, Dave Bing, Bob Lanier, Dave DeBusschere. He's better than all of them, so let's give him that. Also, he was able to beat some of the better 80s teams. Now, they were not in their prime, so to say, but he still beat them, so let's give him some credit. And he was able to keep Jordan out of the final, so let's give him credit for that. And then, other than that, nothing really stands out, man. Nothing really stands out. He lost to Larry Bird and the Celtics for a while. He lost to Magic in the finals, even with a really low, torn-down Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the decline of his career. Even with Magic, he was still kind of in his prime, but still, he had a lot of good players. He had Joe Dumars, he had Adrian Dantley, he had Bill Laimbeer. So he had some good talent, not necessarily the best, but still. And he only won 2 titles, man. He only won 2 titles. Now, that's something to say. He did win 2 titles, so that puts him ahead of Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. Puts him ahead of all of them as far as titles go. But in accomplishments, he was never the best point guard in the league. He only won, was only selected first team All-NBA like a few times. And he never really, like other guys, like I said, like David Robinson and Garnett and a bunch of other guys, and I'll keep on bringing this up because this is a recurring theme. Basketball players, especially great basketball players, they can get over the hump. If you're great and you're one of the best of all time, you can find a way either by consoling with your teammates, either by finding good teammates, you finally get over that hump. But there are those guys that just never get over the hump. They never really get to their potential. Either it's with coaching, timing, location, the players around him. But yeah, Isaiah, you're stuck at number 22. At least you're on the list. I mean, let's see. Dwayne Wade's not on the list. Dirk Nowitzki, Bill Walton, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for Zeke. So yeah. So if you're not a basketball historian like myself, even though I don't like to brag, you won't know who this guy is. His name is George Mikan. He's a Hall of Famer. Okay, NBA 25th, 35th, and 50th anniversary teams. He was a 4-time NBA champion. He was an NBL MVP. That's weird. NBA All-Star Game MVP, multiple-time All-Star. The reason why he's on this list, first off, is that he was the first superstar in the NBA. Think back to the NBA in the 50s. There weren't really that many high athletic guys. I'm not saying Mikan was an athletic guy. He just kind of shot these little crop shots, but he was 6'10". For that time, an unbelievable, talent. And he was the cornerstone of a bunch of these Lakers championships. Again, 4-time NBA champion. Now, the reason why I have him this low is because, first off, no one knows who George Mikan is, first thing. Second thing, he has no more records or accomplishments in the NBA. They've all been surpassed or broken. And third thing, put him up against Bill Russell, put him up against Will Chamberlain, Shaq, Hakeem, hell, even David Robinson. You put him up against pretty much any big man, and he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. He is a lanky big man who shot these crap shots that are gonna get blocked. He's gonna get dunked on by like Shaq and these guys, and they're gonna destroy him. Now the reason that he's in this position is just because that he was so great. Again, impact on the game. Without Mikan, there is no Will Chamberlain, and then future on there is no Shaq. There is no Dwight Howard. Mikan needed to be there, and that's why Mikan is on this list in his position. Impact on the game and championship pedigree. Now for awards, he played in the BAA, the Basketball Association of America. Sounds like the Dodgeball Association of America. If you watch Dodgeball, the movie, you should definitely watch it. But he played in the BAA, he played in the NBL, he played in these leagues that we have never heard of. I was researching this, and I never heard of these leagues. Like, what the hell is the NBL? What the hell is the BAA? Well, again, think back to early years of basketball, the foundation of basketball. You had these guys trying to create a league. It was like the minor ABA of that time. They had some players, but not really. They were trying to form this league, but it was kind of this rinky-dink kind of league. So that's why Mikan's greatness is kind of looked down on. He didn't play with that many great players. The players he played against were like Bob Pettit, Bob Cousy. We'll get to them later. And he would get dominated in this league. He wouldn't be able to play the same kind of game that he would in this league. So, sorry, Mikan, may you rest in peace. So that's all for today. Next episode will be from 20 to 16. We'll see who cracks that list, who gets left off, who ascends, and we'll see. But other than that, my name is Brandon Sella. Hope you keep on watching.